Hi, I'm Mel Pickup, Chief Executive of Bradford Teaching Hospitals. I'd like to welcome you to this week's roundup of what's been happening around the Trust. Today, I'm here in one of the quieter spaces in our hospital, our multi-faith place of worship. And I'm here because of a new initiative that we've launched to support bereaved families. There's more about that in a minute, along with other news about our refurbished family rooms on the neonatal unit. But first, we've done our best here at the Trust to keep as many services going as we can during the pandemic. And one great example is our new ophthalmology clinics. It's here that we've been seeing patients with eye symptoms and conditions since March, when the first wave of the pandemic was beginning. Not only that, the team has also launched 4 new research projects. Here's Professor Farooq Ganshi, consultant ophthalmologist, to explain how the team's work is helping patients.
I think it was important that we continued providing the critical care to the patients who really needed that. Patients who were at risk of losing sight were at the forefront of our minds. So what we did was we continued our macular service, which is run from the Bradford Macular Center on the Trinity Road. Throughout the pandemic, we continued to treat our patients with macular degeneration with regular injections. And then we introduced video consultation as well for some other patients. With the restart of the NHS services, we managed to start 4 new studies, which is another achievement for this brilliant team that we have here in Bradford. The NHS invested a lot of money in the hospitals up and down the country. We need to catch up on the time we have lost, and I'm confident with the team that we have in the eye department and the investment that we have had, we will provide better and safer care for our patients in the years to come.
Thanks, Farooq. It's great to hear how patients can attend clinic as usual. Now, the reason I'm here in the chapel is because I want to introduce you to our new faith boxes. These are boxes that contain spiritual and faith items designed to bring comfort to families and very poorly patients. Here's Mariam Riaz, our Muslim chaplain, to explain the thinking behind them.
The faith boxes are a relatively new idea because we wanted a resource that brought everything together. Especially during the first wave, we noticed there was an increase in demand of certain resources, so it's very easily accessible for ward teams and ward staff just to reach out to the box, and they're able to provide the patients with the support that they need. In the boxes, we have contents from all different faiths, and we also have resources to provide support for people who don't have a faith. So we have things like holy water and rosary. We've got a Quran queue which plays prayers on a loop. We've also got a cross that is used that people hold in the hand whilst they're praying as well. And we've got generic prayer cards, words of encouragement, because we believe even if you don't have a faith, at that crucial time it's vital to provide people with that pastoral support, spiritual support, and sort of words of encouragement to help them get through difficult and challenging times.
Thanks, Mariam. What an incredibly thoughtful idea. Now, let's take a moment to see what other news has been making the headlines from around the Trust.
We're wanting to answer any questions that you may have about healthcare during COVID-19, and the panel will consist of a number of people from within the hospital and also wider in the community.
For more information about putting your questions to our panel, as well as the date of the event, please check out our Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn pages. Now, on to some great news. Thanks to supporters of Bradford Hospital's charity, the Neonatal Family Room at our maternity unit has been refurbished. It's a really big improvement on how it used to look, giving families a place to relax at really stressful times. Our charity fundraisers are amazing. Hell or High Water duo Chris Nichol and James Tordoff even rode the Atlantic to help us. Here's Anne-Marie Crawley and Eve Mallam to explain the thinking behind the design of the room.
Previously, before we did the area up, it didn't get used very much. The room was very dark and it was very clinical, and it just didn't look very welcoming. So what we did was we raised money, and I think it's cost us $15,000 to do this room, and we finished it out with really nice, really bright colours, relaxing wallpaper, and an area for parents to come and sit down, have a cup of tea, have their meals here, just away from the clinical area. But it's more family friendly than the clinical area is.
It's kind of the first phase in bigger plans that we've got to extend the unit. We're hoping to be able to build more parents' bedrooms. We've got a big charity appeal at the moment to build some more parents' bedrooms so that they can be closer to their babies. It's a really intense time for families when they're on the unit, and so just having this tiny little breakaway space is fantastic.
Thanks both. The room's a great addition to the unit. Well, that's about it for this week. Unbelievably, Christmas is just around the corner, and despite the challenges of the pandemic, it's so important to have some brightness in our lives right now. And so we've got plenty of festive events happening at the Trust next week and throughout December. We're also looking forward to being able to tell you more about vaccinations. When we can, we will. But until these are rolled out and the guidelines are relaxed, please stay very cautious and remember, hands, face, space. Stay safe, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week.